WrestleLost. It's WrestleLost. Can you believe it? King Bad God. Oh. I see that, JR. It's triggered. It's Johnny. It's Drew. Can you believe it? It's going to be a slobber knocker. As they say, anything can happen on WrestleLost. Welcome to WrestleLost, folks.
Oh, yes, you can here. It's the WrestleLost got to be cast.
The sniper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to WrestleLost. What a start to 2023 is all I'm going to say. We're going to go deep into this. Y'all know how we do. But to get it going, here's Johnny.
Yes, first of all, I want to thank everyone who watched Wrestle Kingdom 17 with us live the other night. I know it was very late into the night and into the early morning. Thank you to all those that watched live with us and those that watched on demand. We've had our biggest viewed video so far, and we are very close to becoming affiliated with Twitch. I think by the end of this month, we should be able to have subscribers.
Damn right we will. That was insane.
Yes, it was insane. So again, thank you for all y'all. Hopefully, you stick around and watch our podcast, watch everything we post here and on YouTube.
Yeah,
And just come along with us for the ride.
damn right. That was a crazy amount to wake up to the following day.
Yeah.
But we love it, man. We thank y'all for it.
Yeah. So like Freddie was saying, yeah, 2023 is only 7 days old, and we've already seen lots of stuff going on. Let me see. So this is not really news and notes from Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash. So the Young Bucks are currently in negotiations with AEW to renew their contracts. There's been word that CM Punk is interested in coming back to AEW. If you saw Wrestle Kingdom, you'll know that the former Sasha Banks debuted as Mercedes Moné after Kyrie's win over Tam Nakano. Yeah, she gave her like some. I guess that's her new finisher. She gave her. I don't even know what you would call it. But she challenged her to a match for the IWGP Women's Title at Battle in the Valley, which is going to be in San Jose on Saturday, February 18th. Which we'll be doing a watch along for that. It's because it's in San Jose. It won't be overnight.
Thank you.
It'll be in the. It might start late. It might start around 9, but it'll be in the evening at least.
At least it's not 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Or 2 a.m. to 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez.
So you look forward to that. Also, the following night in New Japan, they had their New Year's Dash show, which is like their Raw after WrestleMania. And this is a show that was actually unpredictable, that had matches that weren't even pre-announced. You didn't know what matches were going to take place. The only match that was scheduled was the 4-way to determine the KOPW Provisional Champion, which was won by Shingo Takagi. And it was actually, I watched most of it. It was chaotic. Team KMDK, which Zack Sabre Jr. joined at Wrestle Kingdom with Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols. They got a new member of one of the Young Lions with New Japan, and then there was an 8-man match with Bullet Club where they took on Tama Tonga and his brother Hikuleo, which Hikuleo actually he I guess you could say he turned his back on Bullet Club. So after the match, Jay White challenged Hikuleo to a loser leaves Japan match, which I told Freddie there is that rumor of Jay White being in the Rumble at the end of the month. I don't know when that match is going to take place. We'll have to wait and find out. And Freddie, you were saying that you heard about Kenny Tini with Okada.
Yeah.
It happened. That was the main event.
Oh shit.
Kenny, I need to go back and watch it, but yeah, Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, the two winners of the double main event at Wrestle Kingdom, they teamed up to face Aaron Hanare and Jeff Cobb.
I'm gonna need to go take a look at that because
And, and by the way, if you want to watch it, it's on njpwworld.com and it's free. You don't need a subscription to watch that show.
all right, head over there and watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what's gonna happen at the Rumble. Nobody knows what's gonna happen at the Rumble. But
Hmm.
with the rumors of Jay White going over there with the loser leaves Japan match, it could be possible that Hikuleo loses.
That's you know what I saw that WWE is also interested in signing one of the Tongans, and he is a Tongan. He
Yeah.
is a son of Haku.
And actually, they even name dropped that that's who they want.
Hikuleo.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I might be
So,
wrong. Might
so
be
yeah, this makes this match unpredictable
yeah.
because with with them wanting Jay White, and that was the only name like they had dropped or was rumored or whatever, you kind of figured that's the way it would go. But now that WWE is like, but wait, we might want both of them. So which is the one that you get? I don't know.
I don't. I'm going to tell you a clue would be if Haku is announced for the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, if there is that announcement, then it would make it pretty obvious.
Haku/Ming.
Yeah. Then it would make it obvious as to who they get. Jay White. No, just kidding.
So that was just the news from Saturday to Thursday. Well, the early part of Thursday. Later part of Thursday, we got rumor, and this started last month when the Wall Street Journal reported that Vince wanted to come back with WWE, and it was rumored Thursday that he is going to be back with the company. Then yesterday morning, it was confirmed that Vince is back on the board of WWE. By the way, this is our discussion. I forgot to mention it. But yes, so not only did Vince bring himself in, he also brought back in Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, who he fired himself in 2020 to be on the board as well. Not holding positions in the company, but just to be on the board. And because of that, 3 members of the board had to be let go. And upon Vince's return, 2 other board members resigned. One of which, and I don't have their names. I don't know if Freddie does, but one of them was the one who started the internal investigation on Vince, and we've been told that the only reason Vince is back is just to help facilitate the sale of WWE, since he is the primary shareholder with the company. As of now, he's not taking over any executive duties. He's not over. He's not a CEO. He's not taking over creative again.
Thank God.
Keep your fingers crossed that that doesn't change. Yes, yeah, yeah. Thank God for that. But since Vince does have majority control, he can basically do anything he wants, and they can't do anything about that about it to stop him.
All right,
So
I'm gonna butcher one of these names because it's just a weird name. So Ignis Lahoud
yeah, I think
and
that was one of them.
Manjit Singh.
What was that?
Ignis Lahoud and Manjit Singh.
Okay.
And Manjit Singh was the one that was like in charge of like
Yeah.
everything against Vince.
Yes.
And now there's rumors that he might have been the one that was leaking everything to the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. That's what I heard too. So, yeah, my main concern, besides Vince taking over creative, is as the talent, especially the ones that Triple H brought back after he left. Because I know a few of the wrestlers had said that once Vince was back, they said that they didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah. It's creating a whole bunch of issues that we thought we wouldn't see this early in the year or that we would see at all. I I much like a bunch of people on the board and a lot of the fans from this backlash that I'm seeing. This is the last thing I wanted. So for it to be happening, it has a lot of people on edge because he's unpredictable. And
Yeah.
even though he said that the only reason he's doing all of this is to be involved in the sale and have control and oversee all of that, if that's what you're doing, that's fine. As long as you don't touch creative, as long as nobody gets released, we can deal with you being around for the sale. But we all know he's also a fucking liar,
Yeah.
which I'm going to talk about in a bit on when I give my thoughts about it. But I want to get y'all thoughts on it first. So here's what I want to know from y'all. What's the perfect scenario that y'all seen, knowing what we know, and how do you think? What do you think that outcome is going to be?
Well, I know that once he came back in the company, the stock price rose like 17%. But that, I mean, I know in Vince's mind, he thinks that stock went up because he came back. The stock went up because of the news of the potential sale of the company. So
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with him.
And the last I heard, it was up to
Mm.
22%.
Yeah, I think it closed at $85 yesterday, but it was up as much as $88.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, if he wants to come back, it's okay as long as you don't mess with anything. And they had a meeting yesterday with all the employees at a little after 2:30, local time. But it was just the employees. The talent weren't involved. But Nick Khan said that Vince being back isn't going to affect the day-to-day operations of the company. That himself, Stephanie, Triple H, Frank Riddick, and Kevin Dunn are still going to be able to do their day-to-day jobs without him affecting anything. Which again, he's been known to lie. So I'm talking about Vince. So he may, I don't know, he may have decided to dip his finger in like he always does. Yep. If you're gonna do a sale, you wanna clean up your assets, and this was reportedly a reason why he had releases in the past. I know there have been several names that have come up of who could potentially buy WWE, maybe Disney or Amazon or Apple. I heard an interesting name today is that a front runner to buy the company. I don't know. You heard it, Freddie. Saudi Arabia.
I heard that.
Saudi Arabia Public Interest Fund. Public
Okay.
investors. Yeah.
I saw that, and as soon as I saw it, it's like I can already hear in my mind what is going to happen because whoever becomes owner of WWE is going to be very proud that they own WWE. That's a big get.
Yes.
So I can already hear this happening 2024. It can't happen this year because it would be too soon. But 2024, we could be hearing everybody, welcome to Saudi Mania. That they would start like changing the names and stuff.
I mean, I could see them having a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Saudi, it'd be Saudi Mania, man.
I mean, they had a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely something that I heard today. I don't know. I think there's a lot of companies based in the States that would get a shot at buying it before Saudi does.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, like already Disney Plus in Indonesia already has WWE Network on it. So
Yeah.
could be a clue there. Disney is a big company. They own ESPN, ABC. Uh, they
Star Wars and Marvel.
Yes, yeah, and they actually own half of Fox, 20th Century Fox as well.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of moves that can be made. I've heard Comcast, Netflix
Yeah, that's for
in
Netflix. Yeah.
there. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of names that are interested in buying WWE. Who wouldn't be? Because as much as you would have to pay for it, it's going to bring in a lot of money, especially with the guarantee that Vince is no longer in the picture. Because if he sells, he sells. That's it. You can't do anything anymore. So that would guarantee a lot of security, a lot of happy talent, knowing that he can no longer sneak in whenever he wants.
Yeah, because if he sells, that means he has to sell all his shares.
Yeah. Yeah. So this just factors into what I think. But again, before I go into that, because we know I tend to go along with my rants and shit. I'm gonna go to Andrew first and get his thoughts on what do you think is gonna happen and what would be the perfect scenario for you in this situation.
Well, I already made this prediction last weekend. He's AEW buys it. Oh.
I mean,
And y'all thought that was far fetched, didn't you?
No,
Truthfully.
we were actually joking about that yesterday.
What do I think? I'm gonna go Disney. That's who I think about who buy Disney. They have the money. They're one of the few companies because we looked it up the other day. It's worth about $5.7 billion.
WWE.
Yeah, we looked it up on.
Hmm.
So they're probably one of the biggest companies. They can afford it. They already do entertainment. They'd probably keep some of the people that's there now there. So, but the perfect scenario, Triple H and Stephanie buy it and they run it.
That they don't have that kind of money.
Oh, I know, but
They don't.
maybe they get family discount. Hell,
Please. Fits don't give a shit about family.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Johnny, how do you see this going?
I mean, yeah, I think eventually they'll get sold. Uh, by I also think Disney as well. But I mean, there's also a case for Amazon because Amazon is worth billions, and they already have a streaming platform, Amazon Prime, which they already you can already bundle other streaming apps within Amazon Prime, and they yeah, but uh, the other entity that was also bought out, which uh, was bought out by Fox, is the XFL, which is owned by The Rock. Well, they didn't buy it; they bought the TV rights.
Yeah.
Can y'all guess what channel XFL games are going to be played on?
I wouldn't
It,
even know which channel to
it,
start with.
it's in the name.
FX.
Yes, yes, clever marketing right there. XFL games are going to be on FX. But yeah, but back to WWE, I think the main shooter would be Disney. L- Long shot, Tony Khan.
All right. On a personal note, like what I think about this in general, as long as nobody is released, as long as nobody has to be put through that again, and as long as the sale happens quick, which it's not, because I'm hearing it's going to be maybe like around April, May, maybe June,
That
whenever
sounds quick
this stuff
quick
gets
to me.
finalized.
Yeah,
It's the reason what I mean by quick is I would want it sold in about a month.
Oh,
That's how quickly I'm talking about. Because my main fear is the more Vince hangs around, the more
he gets
compelled,
involved in the
the more
creative.
compelled he's going to be to get involved.
yeah.
And this was my theory as soon as I heard all of this is he's going to start getting involved a little bit more and a little bit more every week. And next thing you know, he's back in Gorilla, like doing his thing. And he's just going to remember how much he loves it. And is going to be like, you know what? I forced myself back in here under disguise of I just want to sell it. But actually, I don't. And it was the plan all along for him to just end up back in charge of creative and all that
Yeah,
shit.
I've heard some people even say like he's actually holding the company for ransom.
That's pretty much what he's doing. And yeah, I just fear that he's going to start releasing people again once that happens.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be back at square one. Which already, as soon as we started hearing that Vince was working his way back in the company again, active fans, active reporters, active streamers, everybody started saying, this isn't what we want. If this is going to happen, if he's going to weasel his way back in, we're just going to stop watching again. So we'll go back to where we were 7-8 months ago, to where we weren't actively watching WWE, which Drew brought up a good point. He's like, works for us because that's just less TV that we have to watch.
And just when we're about to be affiliated.
Yeah,
that's 5 hours we ain't got to spend on WWE. Then
we'll play more video games.
yeah, we'll play more video games or some shit. But yeah, man, worst case scenario, that's what I think would happen. He would just like get the itch again from being in Gorilla and all that and just end up not selling. My perfect scenario is, like I said, it sells within the month. I know that's a very rushed sale, but at least with that short of a timeline, it doesn't give Vince the chance to release people. It doesn't give them the chance to get settled back into Gorilla position, which saves a bunch of headaches for a lot of people. The talent wouldn't have to worry for a very long time because talent are worried. Yeah. And they've already said that if he's in the company, they want out. And we don't want that to happen because who knows who we would lose.
I feel bad for William Regal. He just started back up with the company this week. At least there's a storyline for him to go back to in AEW.
Yeah. Or if I was William Regal, I would make a phone call and just have BCC show up to beat the shit out of Vince McMahon. And William Regal is just standing in the corner with his phone like, I'm going to live stream this shit. Yeah. You just get like a William Regal Twitch channel, like first live stream ever is him live streaming Vince's beatdown. And you just see Danielson, Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, by two of the three guys that Vince wronged.
Yeah. They probably look.
I mean, even though Danielson said he liked working for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect scenario for me. It sells within the month. It would sell to either Disney or I think it would reach a lot more people easier if Netflix got a hold of WWE, because that could be easily implemented into their structure they already have in place. Like they can just give it its own streaming channel on Netflix and that's fine.
Yeah.
It would work. It would be a lot of work, but that would be one of the easiest routes to take. And I actually just looked up what Amazon is worth right now.
Uh-huh.
It's $878 billion.
Jeez.
So they have more than enough money to buy WWE. And the only other company that I looked up that has around the same amount of money is Pepsi, which I said, why doesn't Pepsi just buy WWE? And who the fuck has a Pepsi tattoo other than CM Punk? Nobody. It's CM Punk. So CM Punk gets brought in and he's their main guy.
And he can do the Pepsi plunge in the Code Red.
Yeah.
And it works out because they're already Mountain Dew is already sponsoring the Pitch Black match.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, Disney's worth 140 billion.
I think if Amazon would buy them, I think that would make Amazon the first $1 trillion company.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other company that have reached $1 trillion.
Yeah. Zach put in chat, I'm buying it. Bro.
Yeah.
We don't need okay. So you, Drew, Johnny, and I can get together with let's say the 1.6K that saw us. And I highly even doubt that we can get $200,000 together. They're not going to sell WWE to us, man. Yeah,
I mean, why not? Why can't it be like the Green Bay Packers deal where the shareholders run the company?
that would be pretty damn nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Why did we have to go there? No, okay. You don't know, Zach, so it's fine. It's fine that you don't know this. I don't know how y'all feel about this one. Zach just said Walmart.
We're trying to get out of Walmart.
Yeah. We're actively trying to get out of working for Walmart somehow. We still haven't figured it out yet. I mean, there's possibilities, but
really, Walmart and Pepsi, that's not going to work because it's got to be a media company that takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walmart's 500 billion worth. Oh.
They could easily buy, but they wouldn't know what to do with it.
No, they won't.
At least Pepsi,
well, they could hire us to run it.
Wrestling Crew runs WWE. Can you imagine how that would go? Okay.
Since we work there already, come on.
Okay, we
just
would
move
be
us to a different department.
It would be like, okay, let's see. Andrew, you really love NXT, so you're in charge of NXT. Everything NXT is yours.
I'm sure he could fix it.
I'm like, and Johnny, I don't think you would be great with 3 hours, so we're gonna give you 2 hours. We're gonna give you the shortest night. So you run SmackDown. You can do it.
No, fuck that. I'm making Raw 2 hours.
I'll be like, okay, so Johnny, you can take SmackDown, but or Raw if you're gonna make it 2 hours, and I'll just take SmackDown and rename it and just make it the Bray Wyatt Variety Hour. It's everything Bray Wyatt for 2 hours.
Or what was that name that Tempest came up with when Johnny Knoxville was there? Smackass.
Yeah, Smackass. Welcome to Smackass. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know where this is going. As long as nobody gets released, as long as the sale happens quickly, and Vince just doesn't touch anything that's on TV, I'm okay with it. I don't like it because I'm still scared of the possibilities, as a lot of people are. But I just hope it doesn't get back to that worst case scenario again. And I just, my main hope is that everybody in the company, like talent wise, have someone to help them and talk about this, because I just can't begin to imagine how comfortable they were feeling working for Triple H. And for this to just, even though there was rumors that this might happen, we never thought it was going to happen again. We never thought Vince would weasel his way back in.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we were hoping.
we were hoping. And here it is. So
Yeah, because Vince is a control freak. He doesn't like sneezing because he can't control it, and he also thinks that sleep is the enemy.
yeah, he really just likes being in control of everything. Which, knowing what we know of Vince now that a lot of shit has came out, it makes sense that this is the person that he is. So
And I want to correct Max Caster because there's no way Jeff Jarrett is worse than Vince McMahon.
no, no. I mean, I appreciate the line. It was funny. It
Yeah,
made me laugh. But yeah, there's no way Jeff Jarrett is worse than Vince. Hell, somebody look up how much Jeff Jarrett is worth. Yeah, but going to what Andrew said about Tony Khan buying it, it could happen because he would be the one to, because we saw how much his net worth is, so he wouldn't be able to buy it by himself. He would have to get investors, friends, whoever he feels comfortable with to help
his
him buy
dad.
it. Yeah. My thing about that is, it's like I told you guys, as soon as Vince realizes who it is, if he does try, he would probably hike up the price.
Hmm.
So that's why you have to go in under a different name. Get one of his friends or whoever the top investor is to front his name.
Well,
That way you
it,
have no
it,
clue that
it
it's
would
him.
be like the whole WCW deal. Instead of Shane versus Vince McMahon, it's Tony versus Shahid Khan.
Yeah. Khan versus Khan, dude. It's the Khan rivalry. I like it. Yeah. I don't know who ends up buying it. There's a lot of very possible big names out there that are gonna make a shot for buying WWE. I just hope it happens quick because I don't know how much more events we could handle.
Yeah, and he's only been back a day.
Yeah, he's only been back a day, and hell, he had only been back an hour, and I already actively had the nervous laughs going. I couldn't stop nervously laughing. That's my go-to whenever I'm really nervous about something or really frustrated. And so as soon as I heard all this, I just started uncontrollably laughing of how stupid this scenario could end up. But we're gonna hope for the best. Again, it's only been 2-3 days since everything started going down. So yeah, this is not the way we wanted 2023 to start off. We said there was going to be some very big news in the wrestling world. This isn't the news we wanted, though. So,
And we had a pretty big week too up until that.
yeah. Yeah, it was a really good week. Like, we were having such a good week. And then it just, like, took a nosedive with that fucking news. But it is what it is. It's like Zach says, all we can do. That's all we can do is just hope it works out for the best. So, and he's making a petition that if Walmart does buy it and we do end up in charge, to keep Raw at 3 hours because what? Hey, I like Raw, so we're gonna have to keep it at 3 hours for Zach. Don't worry, we got.
We'll make it good.
We'll make it good.
Yeah.
So. Now that we've spoken about that bullshit, I'm gonna go over to Drew and get his moment for WWE this week.
Ooh, I can't even remember what happens. Oh.
That's
Okay.
the kind of week it's been.
The kind of week it's been.
I had to go back and watch reviews as well to see what happened.
I'm gonna go with Alexa going crazy during her title match with Bianca, and just first she takes out the referee, then she just goes crazy on Bianca, all because of the was it Uncle Howdy in the stands she saw,
Well, it was
or was it a Fiend?
no, it was Uncle Howdy. It was
It was
people Uncle
a
had
couple.
on masks.
Yeah. So there's still a storyline going on there that we don't know yet, but I'm just waiting. I think we all are. But yeah, that was my moment of the week. I wanted her to win the championship, but if she wasn't going to win it, that's the way to lose it.
Yeah. It's like Zach just said. He says he was a little ticked about that she didn't get the title. Like I wanted her to win the championship as well. And eventually she is going to win it again. But for the story they're telling and that loose end they have to tie up with her and Bray Wyatt, yeah, I just didn't see her winning it right now, which we've made it very obvious here that we all love Alexa Bliss. Like, she's one of our favorites here in this channel. So I wanted her to win it as well, but it's not going to happen until this Bray Wyatt situation gets resolved and to see where it's at. And who knows, maybe at the end he might actually help her, because as crazy as she goes when Uncle Howdy is around, that could happen during a match, but it be a little bit more controlled, and that could actively help her win the match. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see where that goes, but it's some very good shit happening there. And I just love it that they're giving Alexa a little bit more of a focus. So now that we got Drew's moment in there, I'm gonna go over to Johnny and get his moment for WWE this week.
Of course, like most of my moments have been lately, the best story going on right now is the Bloodline. They they kicked off both Raw and SmackDown this week the same way, pretty much, just like just destroying everything at ringside and just causing chaos. SmackDown was different. Roman came out and he did the whole acknowledge me thing, but then he talking about he didn't want to talk about this year. He wanted to talk about last year, and especially that last match, the tag match with Cena and Owens, and pretty much trying to blame Sammy for them losing because he's the tribal chief and he doesn't lose, and just out of nowhere he just goes off on Sammy, trying to say, well, are you trying to be the tribal chief? Like he's his insecurity is starting to show. And like I said last week, he's starting to get that jealousy factor for Sami Zayn because the crowd seemed to like Sami more than Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this all culminated at the end of the night when the Usos faced Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Sami was going to go out there, but to help support them. But Roman's like, no, let's just stay here and watch. And so, I think that may be Roman's way of trying to drive a wedge between himself and the rest of the bloodline, or maybe even between Sami and the bloodline. Uh, just say it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so I really love everything they've been doing with the bloodline. I think ever since like we said, ever since Sammy came in, it like breathed new life into it. So to see what happened on Friday, to have Roman be so insecure, it was great to see a different side of him. But at the same time, it really made me feel bad for Sammy because how can you be his like he is the only person in the bloodline that has Roman's like true trust.
Yeah.
Even though he has been very confrontational towards everybody else, he's never done that towards Sammy. So for him to stand in the ring and yell at him, and I'm not the only one that felt this way because I saw it all over Twitter. It was a how dare you yell at Sammy? A lot of people were feeling that same way, man. And as soon as I saw it happening, I'm like, you're gonna can somebody just like bring him a piece of cake or something? Somebody go get Sammy a happy meal.
Well, during that last match with when Roman and Sammy and Paul Heyman were in the back pushing the match, they went back there three times, and like one time only Sammy had popcorn, and he offered some to Roman, and the next time they went back there, they all had their own their own popcorns.
Yeah. So he did end up apologizing by the end of the night and having, like having Sammy with him back there watching the match and all that shit, eating popcorn. It was fine in the end, but it still hurt to see that at the beginning.
Yeah, because I mean, in the end, you could have had Sammy going out there because you had you had the rest of the Brawling Brutes. You had Rich Holland was going toe to toe with Solo Sikoa, and then you also had Butch out there, which Sammy could have been going against Butch.
Yeah, yeah, but it it was awesome to see a different side of Roman, even though it hurt us to watch that it had to take a little bit out of Sammy and just the way Sammy cowered down and just like backed up into the corner all scared, man. It was heartbreaking to watch that happen. But at least by the end of the night, it cleared out. At least that's what they're going with for now. And they were all just sitting back, having a good time eating popcorn, watching the Usos versus the Banger Brothers.
The Bank Bros.
Yeah, the Bang Bros, which
Wait a minute.
you know.
Michael Cole said that.
If you're a guy,
You know what Banger
if you're a
Bros are.
girl, you know. Like
Damn.
that was okay, not to out myself here, but okay. So I've spoken about this before to Johnny at least. You know Francisco. Like we went to high school together.
Yeah.
So not us in C Hall in Coach Thought's class
I know where Seahawks at.
where he didn't care what you did. As long as you finished the work, you can do whatever you wanted with the rest of your time. Yeah, that was a very popular site with us. Just saying, a lot of good times were had in Seahole. But yeah, for to hear this in WWE and for that name to be thrown out there, I know it struck a chord with a lot of people. I shouldn't have said struck. That was the wrong word to use. But yeah, man, it was hilarious to hear that shit. That was That was funny as fuck.
And not only that, but Kevin Owens challenged Roman to a match at the Rumble, which this could be the beginning of that Sammy and Kevin, side together against the Bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's gonna if that's where it's going. We're eventually gonna get there. A lot of people are wanting it to happen by Mania, which I think it makes sense.
So I think what's going to happen. I think Sammy is going to do the turn at the Rumble because the projected main event for Elimination Chamber, which is going to be in Sammy's hometown of Montreal, is Sammy versus Roman.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And that's where you could set up the tag match for Mania with the Usos against Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah. Which I think it's about time that this story starts wrapping up because we've been going at this story for a couple of years now. And even though it's picked back up and it's awesome with Sammy, we just need to get the culmination to this story. Finally. Maybe. I
And
hope.
we especially need it before Vince takes over again.
Yeah.
You know, this is the third time Kevin and Roman have fought at the Rumble. They did it in
but it's been a couple
2017,
years. Yeah.
2017, 2021, and this year will be the third time.
It was 2020. Oh wait, it was 21. Yeah.
Yeah. The last man
It was-
standing match.
It was the Thunderdome.
Yes.
That was the handcuff spot, right?
Yes.
Yes, where Paul Heyman couldn't get the key open until couldn't unlock it.
I might have to go rewatch that tonight. It was funny. But yeah, I just hope whatever the final chapter of this story is that it's a really good ending, because a lot of people have been saying that this could possibly be the most memorable storyline of these
In a while.
of the COVID years.
Yeah.
And I would agree. I would agree. So, yeah, we need to see a good payoff, and it needs to start happening already.
I think the last story that was this big was the Daniel Bryan Yes movement.
Yeah.
What about Kofi Mania?
And that was an organic story because that was the fans that made that happen.
What about Kofi Mania a couple years ago?
It
was close. if it didn't have that shit ending with Brock Lesnar,
yeah,
it'd be better.
That's what I'm saying. Is a story could be really, really good, but then if it has a shit ending, that's what makes it forgettable. You know, like we'll still remember it because of how great it was.
I mean, look at what Kofi's doing now. I mean, yeah, he's half of the NXT tag champions, but now he's like dressing up as nutcrackers and hitting people in the nuts.
Yeah. Which that's just New Day stuff. Like that's how they've always been.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You just need a really good ending. So we're gonna have to see where they go with that. As far as my moment, I mean, really, the Bang Bros was it for me. Like that was the moment for me. Just them throwing out that name and that match being fucking bad as hell. I really enjoyed it. After how serious it got there on Thursday and just the thoughts that were happening in everybody's mind, and me thinking that Vince McMahon was going to open up SmackDown and just showing that he's in charge again.
I think a lot of us were thinking that.
Yeah, it very easily could have happened. I was just happy to see a really good show, and it was a really solid SmackDown. And if I had to pick an alternate moment, since you kind of went with the Usos Banger Brothers, I would say Santos Escobar defeating Kofi Kingston. Just for the fact that we saw a callback to all of his Royal Rumble moments.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them, to some of them. And it could build up that story of Kofi being in the Rumble again. And just seeing Santos Escobar getting good wins against people the caliber of Kofi. I mean, with all the New Day stuff aside, we know he's a very good competitor. So, yeah, just to see Santos Escobar getting a win and him being compared to the likes of Eddie Guerrero, who was beloved by fans. Yeah, it's just great to see him getting the recognition he deserves because Legado del Fantasma is a really good act. And that's something that can't be taken as a joke. So, hell yeah, I love this shit, man. So, I'm happy for Santos.
Yeah. I was telling Freddie yesterday, because we were talking about, what events is on SmackDown. I had told him, I said, if SmackDown were to be in Dallas yesterday and we would have gone, as soon as his music hit, I would have walked out.
And unfortunately, one of us would have had to walk out with him. We can't let you go by yourself, bro. Like, we got you there. We're not going to let you go by yourself. So, I mean, Andrew made it very clear that he would just be stone faced. He wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't cheer or boo Vince. I would have actively booed him, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But just going back to the Vince thing for a second, because this is something I forgot to say, which I already said to y'all. Go figure that all of this shit happens on January 6th.
Yes.
The last two January 6th have been shit shows. So now we're just going to have to wait for 2024, and we're going to have to keep January 6th on our minds. But yeah, man, everything considered, and with that bit of a scare there with Vince, it was a very solid week for WWE. So yeah, we're happy that it went as well, and I'm glad SmackDown was a really good show. So now that we got our moments in there for WWE, I'm gonna go back to Andrew and get his moment for AEW.
So much to choose from, like every week.
I think especially this week there was a lot more.
And it's not really his match, but the promo after Bryan Danielson's match, the back and forth between him and MJF. when Danielson basically called MJF's mom that she's had everybody in the building.
Yeah.
That was funny.
MJF's mom gets around.
Yeah. She's had everybody evidently.
Yeah.
I mean, in kayfabe, MJF's mom hates him.
Yeah. She really plays that shit up too.
Yeah.
Like I've seen, like, we've all seen it. There's been like plenty of pictures and videos of her at AEW live shows just being like how much she hates MJF. I'm like, that's your son. But it's fun to watch that.
Yeah.
Someone like that has a mom who is so supportive, and she knows what kind of a character he is.
Yeah.
That she plays along with it.
Yeah. I think there was also a picture she put up one time of him as a kid, and it's like this is the last good picture before he became an asshole or something like that.
Yeah. That was exactly what she put up, which I fucking love that picture. I love that fact that she made that post.
Yeah. And Daniel was his stipulation for their match at what? Revolution?
Yeah.
Revolution? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be Revolution.
He picked an Iron Man match. I thought he was going to go submission match myself because I think that's more. I don't know, but I can see where he's going with it. So
yeah, if this was Brian Danielson pre BCC, it would have probably been a submission match.
Yeah.
But ever since he's joined in with Blackpool Combat Club, his style has become a bit more unhinged, a bit more savage, which is what it has to be if you're going to be in BCC.
yeah,
So this makes sense that it's an Iron Man match.
And it's another scenario that we've seen with MJF before. He told Danielson that between now and Revolution, you have to win all your matches every week.
and Danielson goes, "No, I'll just become number one anyway."
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, the first match we're getting is Danielson versus Takeshita.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Which, fuck.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't say injured, but they're going to both leave that match like a bit hurt, a bit sore. It's going to be a really good match. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, man, that was a funny ass moment with MJF and just everything it led to with setting up the match against Danielson. Yeah, so now even though we have gotten a bunch of Danielson wrestling on Dynamite and Rampage and stuff, to know that we're going to see him wrestle every week, according to MJF, and him having a win every single match, that's going to be good for AEW on the weekly shows. So, hell yeah. Funny moment there from MJF and Daniel. So, now that we've got Drew's moment in there, I'm going to go over to Johnny and get his moment for AEW this week.
Okay. Well, like you said, there's too many good moments to choose from. I like the mean streak that Orange Cassidy has been on lately. Yeah, we saw the main event of Battle of the Belts 5 was between Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian for the All Atlantic title. Now, Kip has been trying to drive a wedge between Orange Cassidy and Best Friends. We saw that a couple weeks ago. In this match, Orange Cassidy he just came out with Danhausen, and that they were having the match, and eventually the referee he had Penelope Ford go to the back because she was trying to interfere.
No, it's the bunny.
Oh, it was Penelope Ford. She was out there too.
Yeah, but he kicked the bunny out. That's why Butcher and the Blade came out.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, Butcher and the Blade came out, and I gotta hand it to Danhausen, who's got the balls to stand up to both the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah,
he didn't. I mean, he didn't win. He didn't get the best.
No, he didn't.
But that's when Best Friends came out. Trent Britt and Chuck Taylor. They came out and started beating them down with chairs. And I like commentary was saying, well, I mean, you don't know what are they down here to help Orange Cassidy, or are they down there because Butcher and Blade jumped them before? But anyway, while that's going on, back in the ring, Kip Sabian starts to get the upper hand. He gives Orange Cassidy the orange punch. Orange Cassidy no-sold it. He no-sold it. He gave him the PK, which is Shibata's moves. Kip Sabian kicked out of that. But then he finally managed to put him away with 2 orange punches. And that's when you saw the mean streak. It was just move after move after move to get the win.
Yeah. And you notice this time, not once did Orange Cassidy put his hands in his jeans.
No. No, I think we've seen. I think we've seen a change of character.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a comedy Orange Cassidy anymore.
yeah, and I've said this before. As fun as comedy Orange Cassidy is, we know how well he can go in a match. We've seen it. So for us to see this bit of a character change and get a little bit more of a serious Orange Cassidy, I like it because that's just going to lead him to winning more championships,
Hmm.
which I'm all here for. And as far as Danhausen standing up to Butcher and the Blade, that also could lead up to a bit of a character change because they've all also been, and he's even teased it a little bit by some posts he's made on Twitter.
It's Tony. Oh, I'm watching the football game and Tony Khan just popped up on TV
Oh,
because the Jaguars just scored.
hey, we're
No.
talking about you. Talking about your company.
Speaking about, he's over there trying to get more money. Okay,
He's trying to save up his money to buy WWE. Oh.
saving up his money.
Yes.
He's again, this is all in fun. We're not serious here. He's over there actively selling merch and food at the stands just so he can. Yeah, but like I was saying, with Danhausen standing up to Butcher and the Blade, he's also been teasing to be going back to a little bit more horrific, serious version of Danhausen. Which there's many faces of Danhausen.
Yeah.
Just like there were the many faces of Foley. There's different versions of Danhausen. So
Yeah. We saw the evil Danhausen and the all out or not the full gear pre-show.
yeah. And I think that's the one they're headed for, to get like full evil Danhausen. Yeah, I think that's where they're headed, which I'm fine with because he could easily go back and forth depending on the situation he finds himself in. So hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was some good shit as well.
Yeah, like Mick Foley says when he the why he had so many characters because said it's hard to play Mankind all the time. Sometimes you just need something a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to do comedy all the time. You want to do something a little more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's where Danhausen's at. I think he wants to do something a little bit more serious. And I wouldn't even mind like a serious full evil Danhausen versus a serious Orange Cassidy. That could be a hell of a match. So we'll wait and see where they go with it. But that was some good shit as well. For my moment, I'm torn between two. So I'm just going to speak a little bit on both. I just want to thank Darby Allin because to watch him win the TNT championship on Dynamite against Samoa Joe, it kind of went full circle for him because a couple of weeks ago he got beat up real bad by Samoa Joe. And even though he did get a little bit more beat up in this match, to where when he came out on Rampage, he didn't come out on his skateboard. And he was selling a limp and stuff like that all throughout the match. Whenever he would get hit hard, he would show that he was truly feeling it. Yeah, I just really like everything Darby did this week, and to see what he did after he won the match on Wednesday. Yeah, it makes us look forward to what's coming in the future with Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
Because he brought Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne was in the crowd, and they showed him earlier in the night, so we knew he was there. And yeah, just for Darby to bring him out and be like, "Hey, this could be you and me one day in this ring."
Yeah, because
for this championship.
Darby did give him his AEW contract. He has a futures AEW contract. He'll turn 18 later this year.
Yeah,
In fact, he's actually wrestling tonight for GCW.
yeah, yeah. So even though he's still doing like independent shows and shit like that, it's like Darby said, you got to graduate high school first. That's the deal.
Yeah. That's why they won't let -1 wrestle yet.
Yeah. Which we'll still stick by what we said, because I'm pretty sure we said it here, that eventually we're gonna get like a Nick Wayne versus -1. We'll
Yeah,
see that.
yeah,
Yeah. So that was really good as there. I was happy to see that shit at the end of Dynamite and video from the crowd of what happened after. And for my second moment I quickly want to touch on, it's the further developing story of Chris Jericho losing, which he had a really good match against Ricky Starks. I just want to point out the end real quick. Whenever Ricky Starks was in the walls of Jericho, and they did the whole hand spot where it dropped 3 times,
yeah,
and and Aubrey was about to call the match, but then he just rose back up.
yeah. Something like that.
Hmm.
That's a very old school spot.
Yeah, that was a really good spot by Ricky. I'm glad they decided to do that. But him getting when he got hit by with Floyd, I was afraid that was it.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, ah, man, this is how Jericho's going to get a win, and it's just going to tell that story of I got my redemption story back. I'm working on wins now, but no, we were fooled. I was fooled at least, and I'm just glad it went the other way. I think even though Jericho stood tall at the end because JAS came out and they helped him beat down Ricky Starks and Action Andretti, who came out with a really badass looking, like scarred, burnt
Yeah,
eye. Yeah, that was badass as well. But
and
even though, like I said, even though he stood tall in the end, it's great to see how he's putting over talent. And I'm glad he got to do that for Action Andretti and Ricky Starks. And who knows who else he's going to do it for.
speaking of Audrey Edwards, she had a week. She saved the Acclaim's tag titles not once but twice.
Yeah.
First on Wednesday, they had their match with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. At one point, Anthony Bones was getting pinned, and he had put his foot on the rope, but Sanjay Dutt came around behind the referee's back and took his foot off the rope. And so, we thought that Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal had won the tag titles, but Aubrey came back down and explained to Stephon Smith that what happened. So they restarted the match, and right away they got a roll up win. Then at Battle of the Belts, they faced the same team of Jarrett and Lethal in a no DQ match, and there was all kinds of chaos in the match. Satnam Singh got involved. He started throwing everyone around. The referee got knocked out, which Sanjay Dutt decided he was going to put on the referee shirt, so he could count the pin. But then here comes Aubrey again. She comes face to face with Sanjay. She pushes him down, makes him roll out of the ring, and then she was able to count the pin for the Acclaimed.
She also breaks his pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm glad you brought it up because I was also going to bring that up. Yeah, for her to break Sanjay Dutt's pencil, like, come on, dude. That's badass. I mean, we always knew she's badass from everything she has done.
Yeah.
Face to face with Jericho, or her not giving a shit. I'm pretty sure she's been like beaten down a couple of times while reffing a lot of these matches. So yeah, just staying in there and taking her bumps and shit. Like,
Yeah, because she does have wrestling training as well. So
yeah,
Hmm.
she's a badass, man.
yeah,
And after the match, she got to scissor daddy ass.
Jealous. I never thought I'd be jealous of that shit, but one day it'll happen.
and,
I'm hoping for a meet and greet.
yeah, and with all the chaos that happened this week, we forgot to mention that Soraya's partner was revealed as Tony Storm for this week, but I have a feeling that it's a swerve.
Yeah,
Either it's going to be one of those deals where she's attacked in the back either by Britt and Jamie Hayter or even by Sheeta. There was that little jealousy there when Saraya picked Tony Storm over Sheeta and only referred to Tony Storm as the best wrestler in the world. Sheeta just got up, walked off. But yeah, I think it's a swerve for Mercedes to come in.
yeah. Because you all right. So do you remember when it was I don't know exactly how much before it was, but before CM Punk came in, Darby Allin had that line, had that best in the world line.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that Britt Baker pretty much damn well looked at the camera
Yeah.
and is like, I'm the boss,
Yeah.
Wink.
Shit.
Like, come on. It has to be her.
Yeah.
They're not fooling anybody. Well, they're fooling some people. Some people saying it's not going to be her,
And,
but
and- but if and but if it's just some Tony Storm, there's going to be a lot of boos in that crowd.
yeah. If it ends up just being her, at least they announced it a week before.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be a bit of a disappointment. But I don't know. All eyes are going to be on Wednesday. A lot of people are going to be watching, and just because of a conversation I was having before we went live and the excitement level of people being there and not knowing what's going to happen. Jazzy and DJ, I hope y'all have a good time because you're very excited.
Oh yeah, you're going to get a good show. Not only you're going to get that tag match, but Danielson Takeshita. You're going to get Hangman Page and John Moxley. You're going to get Jungle Hook. Plus, you're going to get a Rampage taping, which includes a street fight between Anna JAS and Ty Mello against Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho.
Yeah, that's
And,
right.
but even more important, you get match number 7 of the Trios Championship
Forgot
ladder
about
match.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Escalera de la Muerte. Also, Rampage, you get House of Black versus Kingston and Ortiz, which I think we might see a turn there.
You think so? Who you thinking?
I think Kingston is going to turn Ortiz. House of Black are trying to get in his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're going to be going to a good show.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really damn good show that y'all get this week. So I'm a bit jealous of LA,
Yes, yes.
but it's gonna be really good nonetheless. So yeah, lots of really good shit this week. Not the little asterisk there of Vince McMahon, but again, if that's all it is, then we're fine with it. We're going to stay focused on the shows, and we're just going to take that as it goes. And hopefully they don't start to merge together again. So, yeah, man, really good shit. A lot of good stuff to look forward to, like we said. And all right. So this is something that I've never done on here. We're not an unboxing channel, but Something came in the mail today that I ordered on Thursday. So the fact that it is here on Saturday, I did hear that they were shipping these out pretty quick, and it's thanks to Johnny that I bought this because he sent me the video on TikTok of somebody doing the unboxing, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I needed to have it. This is so badass. I love this mask. I waited until we went live to open it up. I didn't even. I actually took a very long nap after work just because I didn't want to have it tempting me there of buying it, of opening it. I mean, so I gotta get the strap right, but take my hat off. Oh yeah, I gotta get the strap right and take my glasses off, which I can't do on here because I'd be blind. But yeah, man, this is for the $60 price that this is. It is a very good mask. I like this better than the Fiend mask. It looks a lot better quality. So, hell yeah. Thank you for sending me that video, bro. You inspired this purchase. And not only that, it comes in a badass bag. So, this sold me on it as well. So, I'm going to have to, I already know where I'm going to hang that. So, it is visible every single week that we are live from here on out. So, thank you once again. And to see how it goes, because like always, this is what we try and get them with, and we're gonna have to come up with a couple more questions from the sound of it. But we're still good for this week, so it is time to stump the brain.
Okay. Something crazy I thought of this week. I don't know why, but I was thought of weddings. I want to know how many on-screen wedding ceremonies has Stephanie McMahon been involved in?
Stephanie. Okay. I thought you were just going to say how many weddings have been on WWE.
No, that's way too many.
Yes, there is. Let's see. Because I know of at least two. Might have been three. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say 4.
4?
Yes.
Yes, 4.
Because I am counting the unholy wedding to the Undertaker.
The Undertaker, Test, and then the little video where the drive-through wedding.
Yeah, the drive-through wedding chapel. Yes.
At the Chapel of Love, I think it was called.
Yeah, it was in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the other one to Triple H where she told him she was pregnant or something.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, it's been 4 on-screen weddings of Stephanie McMahon.
That is way too many weddings for one person.
Well, at least one of them was actually real. Oh.
Yeah, true. At least one of them was real. But yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love me a good wedding stuff because that shit is funny to watch. But at least they don't happen a lot. So whenever they do, it's funny as hell.
I mean, I think the best one was Macho Man and Elizabeth.
Yeah,
because that was the original.
Yeah. Like they say with movies, you can't beat the original.
But then we've also seen we saw Edge and Lita, which was interrupted by Kane. We saw Chuck and Billy.
Edge and Guerrero.
Yeah, uh, wasn't it like didn't AJ Lee get married with somebody?
I believe so.
Because I do remember. I think I remember her wearing a wedding dress on Raw one time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bobby and Lana.
Yes. Yeah.
sure.
With the one night that Liv Morgan was lesbian.
Yeah. Ah, lesbian live. I remember those days. Oh, sorry. My mind just went elsewhere. All right. Ever
Not part of Bang Bros.
ever since Bang Bros was brought back up, my mind's been there. So don't mind me and my thoughts. But yeah, man, that's a lot of weddings for one person. But we all know that's what WWE loves to do, and we do have a good time with it. So we can't get mad at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like we said, lots of really good shit that happened this week. Hopefully this Vince McMahon stuff stays under control. It sounds like it's going to be, but as unpredictable as Vince is, you never know. So, like always, if you have any questions or comments, wrestlelost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, and don't forget to give us a follow here on Twitch and on YouTube. There's gonna be a couple of extra shows this month because we're gonna we're gonna be working towards that affiliate status. So the only extra one planned right now is the night before the Rumble. We'll be here doing our live prediction and news of that week. So stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah. And also, I should go ahead and mention that speaking of the Rumble, we are going to do a live watch along. Not only a watch along, we're planning to have a watch party. We're going to have several people uh, watching it live with us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a couple of our friends come over and we're gonna set up the camera to where you can see everybody's reaction. So it's gonna be a bit of a different view, but it's gonna be greatness. So
Yes. And
we all know. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's going to be the day before my birthday.
There you go. We all know
So
how.
it's a watch along / birthday party.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
A long birthday party. But like we know, the Rumble is pretty unpredictable, so y'all are gonna get some great reactions that night.
Yes, especially if we think it's going to happen what they say is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a very epic
There's
night.
a lot of things they say is going to happen, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Or
get
if somebody's prediction comes true.
that too. So yeah, lots to look forward to, like we said. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend, and we will come at you on next week. Have a good one.
See you next week.
Check you later.